Hi, in this lecture I'm going to think about the design of the app. So we're going to design together the app that we're going to build, which is a webcam photo share app. If you follow the previous app that we built, what I did was I created a new text file and named it design.txt file. And here basically I wrote down my thoughts of what I think the design should be. So I wrote down the objects and the methods and the attributes that these objects should have, in my opinion. For this app we are going to do the same thing, but for this app we are going to do one more thing in addition. What we're going to do is that we are going to also write or draw, to be more accurate, a design of the front end. So what is the front end? The front end basically is a graphical user interface, what the user sees, and the back end is the code that does all the processing on the background, on the backstage, but the user doesn't see that. So in other words, we can say that we need to design the front end and the back end. So before writing down the objects in the design.txt file, which is like the general design of our app, I want to first design the front end. How do I do that? Well, you can just have a piece of paper. In my case, I'm going to have this blank image file where I'm going to draw the graphical user interface, or what I think the graphical user interface should be. So I'm thinking of having two screens for this graphical user interface, for this app. So I'm going to draw one screen in here and another screen in here. So for the first screen, what we want to show is the video playing. I want to have here two good looking buttons with round corners. And when the user presses the start button, we want to show here what the webcam is capturing in this area here. So that's gonna be a camera widget. And here we have the start button. And then what we want this app to do is we want the app to be able to capture a frame. So here I'm going to have a capture button, and let's refer to this screen as the camera screen. Then once the user presses that button, that's going to show the other screen. And in the other screen, what I want to show is, again, a big widget in here, where we display the picture or the photo or the image of the last frame. Let's call this the image, like that. So what do we want to do with that image? Well, we want to upload that image to the cloud so that a shareable link is generated, and we want to display that link to the user. So what I want to have here is another button. Let's call this for now create link. Once the user presses that button, we want to have here an invisible label widget where the link is going to be displayed once the user presses the create link button. And then down here we're going to have two other buttons. When the user presses the first button, they can copy the link to their clipboard, and when they press the second button, they can open the link on a browser. And this screen, let's call this the image screen. And that's it. We have two screens and some widgets in each of those two screens. So I'm going to save this and say design frontend.png. So what I just did is saving that picture in my PyCharm directory, that one. So I have it now as a picture and I can refer to it while I code the app. But before coding the app, let's also take another step regarding the design and write the general design of our app like we did with the previous app. And let's do that in the next video. See you there.